Let's build your website in 12 days. Wait, let me rephrase that. Let's build your vision, your dream, your passion. This is so much more than just a website. This is an experience. Today, we are just going to cozy up with our website, get to know it kind of like a first date. We don't want to rush in and do all the things. Take some time to explore and play around and figure out where all the navigation is. I want this to come from a place of flow and ease rather than a place of urgency and hustle. So let's dive into our Squarespace website and play. Let's just go over some of the main navigation for right now. The main things that we will be using is this website button right over here on the left and the design button over here on the upper right. Feel free to go through and look at the other areas if you want, like selling, that's more of checking in on your e-commerce, your products, what money's coming in. Marketing, email marketing, feel free to go through if you want to look at those. But right now, I'm just going to focus on the main things because we don't want to overwhelm you. So first, where do we change the colors on here? Okay, so maybe you're working off of one of these templates and you're like, wait a minute, these aren't my brand's colors. Where do I change these colors to make them match mine? Right over here is site styles. This is where you'll be able to edit your colors, your fonts to gear it more towards you. So as you can see right here, boom, fonts, you can play around with those, have different styles, play around with the different sizings of your paragraphs, of your headings. Then we have colors. This is going to be your color palette. And you will see why all of these themes are important as we go in and edit the page. So a lot of this will make more sense once we kind of get the full picture by the end of this video. But when you edit this palette, it will automatically update the colors down here. And these are going to be super helpful when we're creating sections on the website. For example, this green, soft green section right here is bright number 2. So when I created that section, I was choosing that section style. Again, don't worry, this will come together. So this is where you can add your brand colors. And I know once you swap those colors, you're gonna look at the site and be like, oh my goodness, this looks so funky. Maybe there's sections next to each other that just aren't matching, or the font colors are suddenly just looking funky. That is totally okay. Sometimes we have to make a mess before we figure out the organization. At least in my house, I do. Like if I'm working on one project, somehow the whole house is pulled apart in order to organize one closet. So that's kind of like what we're doing here. It's gonna get a little funky before it gets better, but trust the process because all of that stuff can be edited when we're on the page. So you have your brand colors. Let's go back. Animations. Now this is cool. If you're wanting the photos to kind of slide in as people enter your website or any sort of those kind of animations, play around with it here. And don't go overboard. We don't want like some crazy, overwhelming website, but some motion adds a nice little touch to it and it helps keep the viewer's eye interested, right? It makes it more interesting, less likely to drop off and get bored. Spacing, I wouldn't worry about that, but buttons, you could definitely personalize those for your brand. Okay, so buttons, maybe you want a different shape for your button. Boom, okay, there. Now you can see it, how it shifts. You can change what the text is on there, the spacing. As you can see, there's 3 different button styles you can have as well. Let's move over to your pages. This is the fun part. Let's check out your pages. Over here on the left-hand side is where you will find everything. All of those beautiful pages are right there. Any pages that are hidden, you can go under not linked. For example, this social media links page, we don't really want that up here in the navigation, right? So you can click and drag any of these pages to bring them down here. And then they won't show up in your navigation. Also, for example, if you are utilizing one of these templates and there's pages you don't need, do not delete them. Don't delete them. You never know how your business will evolve and if you might need it in the future or you can tweak it for something else in the future. So instead of deleting those pages, I'm going to have you click and drag them down into not linked. So this is how you can add new pages or a drop-down folder. It's called a folder. I like to call it a drop-down. So a folder is a way that you can organize your website better because we don't want all of these overwhelming pages up top. That's too many things. So how can we organize them so that it's easy for your viewer to navigate? Again, we want to think about that customer journey. So let me just show you what a folder is real quick. Boom, under About section, there we go. And then maybe I'm dropping my different offers over there. Offer, event. That is a folder in action. Organize your items under different drop downs. The folder is your drop down menu. The folder is your friend. I would like to think that I am also your friend. So settings button, what's all in settings? Let's move my head. You can change the page titles here. You can change the URL. You can also disable pages. So again, those pages you're not using, pull them down to not linked, and you can disable them so that no one can see them even if they typed in that URL. You can add a password to your page. So if you have something, exclusive, maybe there's an exclusive page only for your VIP clients or something, you can password protect that page. You can also duplicate pages. Okay, say you're using my website templates and there's an offer page, and maybe you have 3 juicy offers, or maybe you're using the event page and maybe you have a few different events throughout the year. You can duplicate those pages and remake them for your other event or for another offer. It saves you time. Once you've already built out a landing page, you can duplicate it to revamp, tweak, reorganize for your next offer. Now let's talk about page editing, which we will go further into in another video. But again, I want you to play around without the stress of creating your website, just playing with your website. This will be your edit button. Boom. Now we are in editing mode, the fun mode. You can edit the desktop version like this. Then also mobile, which we will get into later, but I do want you to know where that mobile button is so that you can see what it looks like. As you can see right here, I do all my editing in desktop and then I do my tweaking in mobile. So let's just kind of get a feel for the editing mode. You have these different sections, so right away you'll see that as you're scrolling. Here's a section right here, and you can add different sections. So there's some kind of pre-made sections in here for different things you're looking for. I like to start from scratch. Also, ooh, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this because it will make your life so much easier. Saved sections. When you create a section that you love and that kind of like template section might work great for another page, save it. Like I have this image section saved here because I like to utilize that on lots of different pages. So then I can add it into the page and just swap out the photos. Or maybe it's the connect section that you want on multiple pages. Save that section and then you can utilize it and quickly add it into other pages. You'll also see as you hover over these different sections, you'll see this pop up. This heart right here is how you can save that section, and then it's automatically added into your saved sections. You can duplicate sections, so maybe I want another image later down on this landing page. Boom, I can duplicate it and then use these arrows to move it down where I want it. And of course, you can remove a section. Now let's try this edit section button. In this area, you can change the background, which again, we'll go into more detail later. Colors. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Do this on a different section so you can see the difference. This one is on bright too, but maybe I want it on orange. Like that. Voila! So, like I said, when you edited your brand colors and came back on, you're like, oh, maybe it's a little funky. You can go in and change those. And then the other button you'll see pop up when you are editing sections is the add block one. And this is where all your tools are, your text, your images, your social links. You can add all of that from there. 2 more things on this page, and then I'm going to show you a way that you can play with your website without having to worry about messing it up. If you put your mouse over the header, that is where you can find all of the editing for your header section. So feel free to go through there, but just a quick overview, that's where you can change your logo. We've got elements you can choose to add there. So maybe you want a button up there, you want your social links up there. Footer, same thing. You hover over your footer, boom. Keep in mind, whenever you're editing your header or your footer, that is going to change throughout the whole website, through every page. Let's exit out of here and create your playground. I want you to make a play page. So we're going to do a not linked page right down here. And we'll just start with a blank page. I'm going to name it play. Now we have this beautiful empty page, this beautiful blank slate. And this is going to be a rough draft. Do you remember in school when you had to like write papers or poems and that first draft always sucked? I want you to get that suck out. Oh no, that came out wrong. This is your rough draft. This is your free playground. No one's going to see this. You can do whatever the heck you want. Go on in and play because this will give you a feel for where the buttons are. This will help grow those memory connections so that you feel empowered when you are going in to edit those pages. So let's edit this page. I'll be super fast. Know you a busy bee. And boom, add sections. Like blank sections, or if you are using the template, go ahead and mess around with some saved section and just play around. Move things around. Get a feel for it. Type in text. Write yourself a love letter. This is your blank canvas. Have fun. Go play around. Enjoy your first date with Squarespace. The night off on a good note. I think a second date sounds good. How about tomorrow? This is about you and your vision. I want you to nurture that vision and that passion along the way. After all, it is your dream unfolding right before you. So excited to go on this journey with you and to see what you create. If you do any sort of behind the scene videos or images, send them over to me or tag me so that I can share them too. Cheers to opening up doors to endless possibilities and opportunities. I will see you tomorrow. If you didn't grab your website template yet, you can grab it down below. Now go have a fabulous day.